Donald Trump claimed he, quote, started this whole fake news thing. And I think I speak for everyone when I say, yep.
Fake news has become a plague on the web, and especially on social networks like Facebook. There are so many unreliable sources about this election, so we need a new rule for the web. Triple check before you share.
Hillary Clinton is calling on Congress to take action against fake news. The former Democratic nominee appearing on Capitol Hill for Harry Reid's retirement celebration. While she didn't directly talk about the results of the election, she did make it clear that she thinks propaganda on social media is becoming a problem.
To maybe our favorite story of the day, the one that we mentioned at the top of the show. Cue the music. What looks to be a case of real-life X-Files, ladies and gentlemen.
We're learning this morning about a Pentagon program that spent millions of dollars to look into UFO sightings.
And the fact that a secret department in the Pentagon thought they were worth millions of dollars of investigation has many wondering if the truth is out there.
These newly released videos from the Department of Defense, published by the New York Times and Washington Post, part of a once secret government program to investigate sightings of so-called anomalous aerial vehicles in the skies. To reports in the Washington Post and New York Times, the Department of Defense has spent at least $22 million since 2007 looking into UFO sightings. Former Nevada Senator Harry Reid, who helped secure the funding for the program, telling the New York Times, "I think it's one of the good things I did in my congressional service. I've done something that no one has done before." And now the Pentagon officially acknowledging its Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program for the first time, telling ABC News they ended the program in 2012 in favor of other higher priority issues that merited funding, but that the DoD takes seriously all threats and potential threats to our people, our assets, and our mission, and takes action whenever credible information is developed.
The Pentagon ended funding, but the New York Times reports the program remains in existence and has continued to investigate episodes brought to them by service members.
Did you know that the government has a plan to stage or fake an alien invasion or even the return of Jesus or the appearance of God here on planet Earth? Not only do they have the plan, but they've actually considered putting it into use on several occasions. The Washington Post actually published an article years ago about how the military had considered staging the appearance of God in Iraq during the first Gulf War in order to trick the Iraqis into believing that God had appeared and that he was talking to them, urging them to overthrow Saddam Hussein. They also considered doing the same tactic to overthrow Fidel Castro in Cuba. It's called Project Bluebeam, and through using several holographic devices and the microwave hearing effect, or the radio frequency hearing effect, they were going to beam God's voice into people's heads and make them believe that they were seeing and hearing God himself, who would then urge them to overthrow the dictator. There is a patent registered in the United States Patent Office by the United States military for a piece of technology that can beam voices into people's heads. It's called the radio frequency hearing effect, and essentially the voices or the sounds, the music, whatever they project would be modulated in your inner ear so people couldn't tell where it was coming from. And there's also a plan in the works to use this same technology to stage an alien invasion in order to trick the world's population into following in line with the government's agenda. While giving a speech at the United Nations in the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan suggested that we needed an alien invasion in order to bring in world peace.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
More recently, Paul Krugman of the New York Times has suggested that the government stage an alien attack or an alien invasion in order to spark military spending in the military-industrial complex to pull us out of the recession and to jumpstart the economy.
Fuck it, I quit.